My real name is Charles Lee Ray.
Claiming that his good guy doll, Chucky, was possessed by Charles Lee Ray.
The good guy doll from Playbound.
It's Yanni again. So this week the topic shifts back to Chucky. Now, again, I love Chucky, but I don't have the most love for Child's Play 3. I don't know why. But the show must go on, and we will see if my opinion changes by the time my review is finished. Again, I will be ranking all of the Chucky movies and maybe the TV show if y'all want it, based on whether or not I survived the film's events. Child's Play 3 was released in 1991, directed by Jack Bender, with a budget of $13 million. This movie, plot-wise, takes place 8 years after the second movie. The movie opens up giving us the credits, while in the background molten plastic is reconstructed to make the Chucky doll. It looks kind of like a reanimation of the doll, when really it was done by melting a doll and reversing it. I love the practical effects here. We see the original owner of PlayPal Co., Mr. Sullivan, in a meeting surrounding Andy, discussing company changes after the events of the first two movies. Mr. Sullivan decides to change nothing, a bad decision in the long run, saying the children are irrelevant and Andy's story is dead. Essentially is saying nobody cares. Mr. Sullivan receives the first good guy doll in production as a surprise. Unbeknownst to him, Chucky is indeed in the doll. He takes it home, and of course, strange things start to happen. Chucky is not in the box firstly, and of course, Mr. Sullivan doesn't notice. He makes himself comfy, drinking, and turns on a TV, but we see something moving in the background of the frame. We soon find out it was a golf club as he gets up to play golf in his house, and we see in the background Chucky running around. He picks up marbles and turns off the TV to gain Mr. Sullivan's attention. He uses this diversion along with various PlayPal Co. toys to eventually get rid of him. Afterwards, Chucky uses the computer to find info on Andy, finding out he's 16 and is in a military school. We then are brought to Andy's perspective as he arrives at the school and he talks to the dean. I don't know if he's the dean, but he's like the top authority figure of the school. They discuss Andy's past involving Chucky. Andy tries to defend his story, and the dean states he will cut slack but never make anything easy, essentially telling him to forget Chucky. Later, Andy gets his hair cut by this man that's weirdly fixated on people losing a piece of their identities. I don't know, the man weird, especially while he educates Andy on why hair is meant to be short in the army. There's a child there named Tyler, and they both see the new good guy doll commercial, having two completely different reactions. Andy settles in, but being the new kid comes with struggles, and we will come to see that very soon. While he settles in, he meets a roommate, Whitehurst. They talk a little about the Colonel, Sheldon, and the person who did that to Whitehurst, and it's time to go through training. Andy meets Sheldon during drills and receives a drilling himself about addressing ranks. Whitehurst is not safe either from his drilling, and I know it's just a movie, but the way this man acts given his rank is very deplorable. A female DeSylvia steps in for Whitehurst though, and is punished being forced to do push-ups. Sheldon then goes off about women being fragile, making him more deplorable in my opinion. She finishes her punishment of 25 push-ups, some of which one-handed, and look at your boy Andy. The boy approved. We switch scenes later to follow Tyler, and he is asked to deliver something to Andy, and can you guys guess what it is? That's right, the good guy shaped box is indeed holding a good guy doll, Chucky to be exact. But you see how excited he was when he first saw that commercial earlier? Tyler stole it. He has to. He loves good guys. He takes it to a secluded location, intending to play with it. Chucky pops out of the box, scaring Tyler, and he ends up questioning him about Andy. Chucky has a conversation with Tyler, deciding to tell him about his identity, thinking Dambalah's magic resets after every death he has. He is supposed to transfer his soul to the first person he told his true identity to. It's not a bad plan, and we will see if it works later on. DeSylva helps Andy in the shooting range, bringing them a little closer, at least to Andy at this point. He commends her on sticking up for them during drills. Also, I know this isn't a part of the subject, but Andy is donkey booty ass at shooting. Just look at this. Hell no. Now back to Tyler and Chucky. He tries the soul transfer and is interrupted by the dean showing up. He scolds Tyler, saying dolls are for girls. I don't agree with that, and is told to clean up while the dean takes Chucky and throws him out. On his way, Andy notices the scene while while in drill, so he knows what time it is. He is so shocked he drops his gun and ignores orders for a second, getting him in trouble. The dean throws Chucky out, and Chucky immediately starts to scream for help. The trash man looks for him in a truck like he gets down in there. Chucky ends up escaping, but look at him, he looks so funny, he looks mad as hell. And while he continues searching, Chucky squishes the poor dude. Like, for real. Again, Chucky, the man was deadass trying to help you. Like, come on, dude. There's no reason to do that to this man. He could have just scurried away or something. I don't know. Just don't kill him. The team hears the commotion, deciding to investigate. Andy's the last to go, knowing this feeling all too well. And he gets the validation he needs when he discovers the scene. Oh no, but not enough to check his room that Chucky is now in, hiding somewhere waiting for his time to strike. I'm sorry, but with all the trauma, I know he's exhausted and just wants to move on, but things are a little too coincidental at this point. Chucky is hiding under his bed with a knife and scares Andy. He brings up the fact that Chucky needs him alive, and Chucky brings up Tyler, telling Andy about his plan. Andy says he won't let him have Tyler and jumps him, but as he attacks, Sheldon pops up bullying him, not realizing how serious this situation is. Andy used Sheldon's shoes to knock Chucky over, so Sheldon feels like his shoes need to be repolished, and as punishment for ruining his shoes, he transfers his hazing from Whitehurst to Andy. Also, he decides to take Chucky because he feels like that would make a good present for a child in his family, so he ends up taking him as well. Now, I ain't gonna lie, because from a non-believer standpoint, I can see how this situation looked, but Andy makes a dumb decision by getting up in the middle of the night to try and kidnap Chucky from Sheldon, with a knife too. Like, he out here making the dumbest decision. He sweeps the room, noticing a knife is missing from the room's display. Honestly, they need more security with that. Chucky scares Andy onto Sheldon's bed, waking him up, and he loses track of Chucky in the process. Others wake up, and as punishment for the missing doll, they're made to walk outside in a circle with the rifles they have above their heads. Chucky goes to find Tyler, but is tricked into a game of hide and seek. Tyler playing with him like a sentient speaking doll raises no concern. I understand Toy Story was cute, but a doll with Chucky's demeanor should be a red flag to Tyler. While hide and seek is happening, Andy tries to escape, but gets caught starting a physical altercation with one of the guards. Chucky finds Tyler in the dean's room. Whitehurst tries to ask Andy what's going on, but gets shut down at the idea of a doll being alive. Like, don't ask me then. Females sneak into the male dorms, one of which is the Silva. She sneaks into the dean's room to read Andy's file because she likes him. They end up finding Tyler hiding with Chucky in a closet. In a joking manner, the Silva puts lipstick on Chucky and leaves him in the dean's office. The dean returns and is Chucky's next victim. Sadly, seeing Chucky alive is enough to give the man a heart attack, and he falls into some replica thing in his office and dares the paramedics to take him away. Sheldon theorizes this was not an accident. They hold a funeral or like a day of remembrance for the dean after his death. There's a moment of silence before breakfast. The hairstylist is on a prowl looking for people whose hair unfortunately have grown too long. Also, yeah, again, I like to bring up what's okay for his position, because why are you pulling people's hair, man? You could just tell them to make an appointment with you. He calls on Whitehurst as well, but it's weird because his hair in comparison to Andy's is shorter, in my opinion. He's a weirdo. This movie is full of unlikable people. Andy moves in the middle of mass to talk to Tyler about where Chucky is. He tries to warn the kid about Chucky's ulterior motives, but Tyler's a kid, and it's quite understandable that his trust has grown with Chucky. From Tyler's viewpoint, he's at school with people that are almost 3 times his age. There's nothing in common or no one his age to play with, so I can't blame the baby for wanting a connection, even if it's with a doll. Even so, Andy's attempts to warn Tyler fails, so he gives him a pocket knife for protection. Whitehurst goes for his haircut after eating. He gets berated about why he's even there and admits if it was up to him, he wouldn't even be there. After the cut, he cleans up but notices Chucky is hiding in the cabinets. He decides Chucky hair isn't up to code, intending to give him a full haircut as well. He places Chucky in a chair, and as he approaches, Chucky fatally injures the man, ending the man's abuse. Whitehurst forgot something and discovers that Chucky is indeed alive, and what do you even do with that info? I mean, Andy knows already, and he tried to tell him about it, but what can you do then? And we'll see how he handles this info later. We then learn there's an annual war game scheduled. Andy's on a blue team, Tyler is on a red team. Whitehurst arrives late in shock, but he's on a blue team as well. Chucky learns about the war games and decides to shake things up. The standard ammo used during this game is supposed to be paintballs corresponding with the team's color to simulate warfare. The objective is a classic capture the flag to win. in. Chucky changes the ammo of the red team to live ammo. While the teams are marching to their posts to set up, Andy asks Whitehurst what is with his demeanor. Andy knows he knows something and he's seen something. He tells Whitehurst they have a mission to save Tyler, but Whitehurst doesn't care right now, probably still in shock at this point. DeSilvia tells a scary story later that night and Andy flees the scene, so she follows him to talk about things, but he clarifies that it wasn't her story that made him run away. She shows him an amusement park that's not too far away from their camps. We find out that Chucky is scouting them out too. The team decides to move because their map comes up missing. Andy stole the map to try and find Tyler. He finds the camps and realizes Chucky took Tyler somewhere. We follow them into the forest and Andy is not too far behind, but Tyler hides to avoid him. Chucky wants to try to soul transfer again, but Tyler admits the game is dumb. Chucky gets mad, threatening Tyler into realizing he's a bad person, and Tyler defends himself by stabbing Chucky and running away. Andy gets caught looking for Tyler by his team, and he tries to tell him the truth, urging Whitehurst to explain more for him, but he gets quiet. Chucky takes DeSilva hostage and basically tricks both teams to going to the same spot. Andy again tries to warn them, but no one listens. So in my opinion, Sheldon, their leader, should be responsible for everything that's to come. They meet up and Chucky tries to swap Tyler for DeSilva, but Andy doesn't want to. Chucky threatens them, so Tyler just goes with Chucky and DeSilva is saved. The blue team moves in and starts shooting, but as you can see, their bullets are just paintballs as they shoot at Tyler because of course he's red, not blue. Sheldon calls for a ceasefire because where is the person who threatened them? But Chucky doesn't care. He ends up revealing himself to Sheldon and he looks scared but amazed at the same time. None of that matters now because the red team moves in and shoots Sheldon. Remember, Chucky replaced their bullets, so Sheldon is for sure done for at this point. Blue team realizes immediately and takes cover. They try to inform the other team, but it takes a minute. Chucky finds this very funny and can't stop laughing. Tyler takes the opportunity to slip away from him. The team checks up on Sheldon, but that boy gone. They blame the ammo swap on Andy, and during the scuffle, while DeSilva tries to break things up, Whitehurst notices that Chucky is going to throw a grenade. He ends up jumping on it to save the others. R.I.P. Whitehurst. He went out like a true hero for real. Chucky runs off after Tyler. With all the panicking happening because of the incident, Andy decides to make things right and stop Chucky. He and DeSilvia runs off, deciding Tyler must have went to the amusement park, which he did. Tyler tries to ask for help, but with him just being a child, his concerns are not taking it seriously. The man gives Tyler a good guy doll, of course. With him being an adult, he doesn't realize the assist he just pulled. Andy and DeSilva arrive at the park and frantically search for Tyler. They end up at the Lost and Found, deciding to look there. They discover that Chucky must have hurt the security guard to get Tyler, and they take the weapon from the guard for protection. And if I wasn't clear enough, the security guard will never move again, to put it lightly. Tyler is directed towards a ride called the Devil's Lair by Chucky. At this time, Chucky has a gun, so Tyler's knife can't stop him this time. He's forced to listen. Andy and DeSilva see Tyler entering the ride. We see the interior. It's like a roller coaster with animatronics that activate as they pass by. Chucky picks a spot to try and complete the ritual. They get separated by the ride itself, like Chucky gets thrown by the animatronic he was sitting on, and Tyler is scared and runs away. To escape Chucky, he hops into the resting place of an animatronic, but Chucky still finds him. Andy and DeSilva finds them as well, and they have a little shootout. DeSilva gets hit, so it's up to Andy to patch her up and get to Chucky. Tyler is still being chased and gets stuck in a ride. Chucky finds him, but a piece of his face is decapitated by an animatronic with a huge scythe. The scythe helps Tyler escape. Little man said, fuck no, he gotta go. Tyler jumps on some dragon thing to avoid Chucky, but he hops on himself because his new body is not going anywhere. Andy catches up trying to warn Tyler that Chucky is there, but Tyler gets knocked out. He tries to assist and notices a big fan blocking him. He takes another route to climb up and try to stop the ritual. Andy falls down, almost falling into the fan. Realizing time is running out, he decides to try and shoot Chucky down. He misses a few times and uses DeSilva's methods to finally land a shot. He checks up on Tyler, but Chucky jumps on his back. He ends up throwing Chucky off of his back to save Tyler. Chucky gets absolutely destroyed by the fan, ending his reign of terror once more. There's a little issue I have with these final shots because I understand how something can get hit by a fan and explode, but did we really need this many shots of it happening? I don't mean to judge, but that was a little OD. Afterwards, the police pull up, the ambulance takes DeSilva, and the police take Andy. he tells her not to worry because he's been through it before. And that's where the movie ends. Now we gotta get into my final thoughts, and I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet. We couldn't save the dean, the security guard, Sheldon, and sadly Whitehurst. I know some people may not agree with it, but him being saved was up to him, and it's a good thing he went out as a hero. From De Silva's point of view, I feel like she handled things fairly well. Like, I feel like if I was in her position, she found out that Chucky was alive as well. And I really love how she was there for both Andy and Tyler in their moments of need. The way she handled situations later on in the movie really did help Andy and Tyler. Now looking at Tyler's point of view, things could have been avoided. You stole mail that wasn't yours. You should have just left it alone, kiddo. I know he's a child and all, and he really cannot help it. Saw the good guy tape. I get it. But him involving himself in it really came to his detriment. When it comes to Andy's point of view, I feel like he tried to get over his traumas throughout the movie. Like, there were several points where he felt like, okay, well, this cannot really be happening. With all the therapy that he's had and people in his face telling him that this never happened, it's you. So I feel like he really tried throughout the movie to more so move on until he was forced to look at the issue. And at that point, he didn't turn away and let Tyler fend for himself. He decided he was going to take action and save Tyler. So from Andy's point of view, I do feel like I would have definitely survived Child's Play 3. I would have handled things a little bit differently. Like, I would have definitely been more aware, especially with certain pieces of evidence and things happening around me, really pointing towards that, like, he's alive. Chucky's definitely alive. I feel like I would have handled that a little bit differently. Maybe things would have ended a little bit earlier, but I do feel like his approach throughout the movie, especially just entering Sheldon's room with a knife at that point, like, he could have really got himself in trouble with that. I feel like he should have handled it a little bit differently. Outcome wise, he still survived, so I'm looking at that more so overall. From De Silva's point of view, Lord, I don't think I would have survived if I was more so De Silva, mainly because, like, it's really hard to come to the conclusion that a doll is alive. Like, I feel like I would need like 7 business days before I decided, like, yo, I think we should do something about that. You know, I just, like, and from a school standpoint too, like, things that you've been through, things you've seen your entire life, like, it might not be weird in 2026 to believe that, like, a doll is alive, but to believe that this doll is alive and it's a grown ass man doing voodoo, actually, it's not that hard to believe, for real. Give me like 48 hours. I gotta go to sleep, man. I don't know. Sleep is an easy way for me to solve my issues nowadays. Anyways, from De Silva's point of view, no, I wouldn't have lived, because I would have been looking at him like, man, ain't no fucking way. Like, I would just be amazed. Fucking keep it, give it to the government. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh, hell no. Like, I would have kept him. I don't know what I would do. I'd give him to the government or something, because that's crazy. Like, and we in like a military school too. Like, we could just turn him into a military weapon. Like, my mind would have been, fucking, I'm making money off of this. Like, what do you mean? There's no fucking way. Like, you know how crazy that'd be? Putting Chucky on like an army. We could just put Chucky in the military. You know how crazy it'd be to realize that, like, a doll's alive. Like, so many people would be shocked. Fuck it. Like, I think that's a really good military strategy. Anyways, I'm yapping a lot. So overall, I would put this movie, it's going in D tier. I'll put it in D. I give you D. I give you D. I give you D. You can have D, you know, because I felt like I was gonna feel different about this movie. I harbored so much hate for it when I was a child and I first encountered or seen this movie. I think honestly it was really unwarranted. Like, as a kid, I really wasn't into the types of TV shows or movies that were more so war oriented or anything like that. Like, I just really wasn't interested. So I think that's really what made me believe that it wasn't a good movie in my heart. But I don't really have too many issues with it. You know, rewatching it, doing this review, I don't have any issues with it. And I'm pretty happy, you know, by the end of this review that my opinion has changed. So that's my review of Child's Play 3. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed and you feel as though I've earned it, please consider liking and subscribing so you'll be notified in the future when other videos are dropped. And until next time.